Listen, Bant Spirits with 3 Aether Vials in it has been top 8ing and winning Grand Prix, so I don't want to hear people talking crap about the 2 Aether Vials in my deck. So, this deck, we've got Lotus Cobras, Aether Vials, mana creatures, like Hidden Herbalists, and this to put Myr Superion into play, and then to back all that up, we're a Collected Company deck, so let's do it. I feel like I'm in Groundhog Day and I'm experiencing Big Bud Day all over again. The decks that are sweet rise to the top of the deck list, rise to the top of the queue quickly, chat. People support sweet decks. This hand is more than good. It's great. Who's excited? Who's excited? I know I am. No, stop it. Stop it. Keep your big mean discard spells to yourself. Rude. Rude. I'll play whatever you want on stream, Scraggles. The people who watch this stream decide what we play. That's true. If you hit double Burning-Tree off of it, you can Coco again. Just the facts. Do 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 do. Beep 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 beep. Oh, Double Inquisition has knocked the wind out of my sails, chat. There's no fun left to be had. 2 basic swamps. We're playing against 8-rack. Could be 8-rack. Look at how little their 2-mana card is. Our 2-mana card's only a 4/5. Our 2-mana card's a 5/6. Get on our level, opponent. I don't currently have Revolt, so we're gonna hang on to Herbalist for a hot second here. Would fringe matchups like 8-rack and anything else you cite in Staring Mags make Porphyros? No, I don't think so. Lingering Souls is enough to win through Bridge, generally speaking. Why do trackers conflict with Myr? Can you explain? I'm not sure I understand why you explicitly think that tracker is bad with Myr. Again, good example of synergy deck just getting picked apart by efficient interaction. We drew these Myr Superions, and they were able to get rid of our cards that enable them, so we were just like stranded with cards that didn't do anything. I'm gonna trim these Aether Vials. The Reliquary is kind of mediocre here too. Just like a big dumb beater that dies to a Doomblade. Alright, let's do that. It's a little bit different here, Jap, because the mana that they were taking explicitly helps me cast the Myr Superion. So while I agree in general that it's often wrong to take mana, I think the fact that like the mana was enabling our Myr Superion makes it more reasonable to take it. Why is Knight played so often? Because Knight of the Reliquary is the biggest trap card that sees regular play in Modern. It's a card that people desperately want to be good, but it's not good in most shells. It's susceptible to graveyard hate. It doesn't get terribly much utility off of the lands that you have to offer in Modern. Just doesn't do a whole lot. He's dead, Jim. No, I'd argue Knight's worse than Hallowed Fountain. That's why Todd Stevens registered Hallowed Fountains and not Knight of the Reliquaries. Alright, so I get to get up to 4 mana here, which is nice. Taking a little bit of a hammering on my health total from Wooded Foothills. In general, you're better off taking payoff cards with discard spells. That is correct. Take the cards that actually kill you. Don't try and be cheeky and hope they get unlucky. Todd, like many Magic players, has an extreme emotional attachment to the deck he spent a lot of time playing. It's just how Magic players are. I think I'm just going to play Tireless Tracker here. If they have discard spells in their deck still, they have more Inquisitions and Thoughtseizes most likely, so this is more likely to get discarded out of my hand than this. And making a clue this turn is pretty appealing. I mean, Stone Rain you? Stone Rain you? I don't think they thought that through. They should have just attacked my Temple Garden. We stumbled and died last game. They stumbled and died this game. There's so many games of Magic that are decided by resource variance. So much resource variance. I guess you could argue that a little bit of the variance that they just experienced was due to their deck building. They chose to register color sign and the play that they made, right? Like their play was pretty medium. They should have targeted my Temple Garden. I guess I'm keeping this. I'm bottoming that. Definitely looking for fetch lands here. Mana Dork also decent. think I want to lean on Lotus Cobra here rather than Scavenging Ooze, because this matchup's generally about card quality more than getting ahead on mana. So if they have a Fatal Push here, I'd rather this die than this die, because Scavenging Ooze is going to be able to help keep their Tarmogoyfs in check, and it'll just be like a larger threat overall to apply more pressure in the long term. This is pretty good for us, although I guess it could also mean that just like their hand is just like a bunch of Doomblades. I think I'm just playing Herbalists out here, so like get my Grizzly Bear going. So I think I want to maximize getting as many clues as possible here. So I'm going to go ahead and go Tracker into Plains, even though it's a little bit less resource efficient. As a company, will be pretty similar next turn, but I have the upside to get a clue here. And because Treetop Villages are only pressure and I like have this Ghost Quarter in this path, I'm pretty unlikely to get completely run out of this game, which means gearing up to give myself as much value as possible as the game goes long is ideal to keep me in the game. Give me the best chance to win. Even if they do like deploy another threat that could threaten to rush us out of the game, we have this Path to Exile to kind of keep that in check. So we got a lot of our bases covered here. Just want to like gear up to go long as best as possible. All of the deck lists on my website are my latest iterations of those deck lists. Those are the copies of those decks that I would play if I were to play them in a tournament or a league today. Unless I explicitly wanted to try something weird and new, the decks on the site are kept up to date. That's the point of the website. It's the reason it exists. And I know that that's different than a lot of people. A lot of people do stuff, so. And I had hoped, oh, you know what? Maybe I'm supposed to company before I play the land there, because I could hit another Tireless Tracker, right? Yeah, so like when Guilds of Ravnica releases, for instance, I'm going to take a day and go through every deck list on the site and kind of sort out the ones that look like they have good upgrades from guilds and slot those in. So I'm going to path this before I company here because I prefer they don't kill my stuff. Yeah, I'll probably play in the open. I guess it depends on the format. Like, if the format for the open is something stupid like no ban list modern, I hate this card so much. People, it takes a certain kind of person to be willing to register Collected Company in a Magic tournament. I could never do it. It's just so miserable. I'm gonna hold this land in my hand because there is a copy of, there's 3 copies of Tireless Tracker in my deck, and if we draw one, I'd like to make clues with it. 4 mana Flash Bear, yep. Coco's a high variance card. Coco's a great example of a Hearthstone card that snuck into Magic competitive play. And people just like don't look at cards like Collecting Company and make that immediate comparison because Collecting Company doesn't explicitly have the word random on it like a lot of Hearthstone cards tend to have on them, even though it has a very random effect. Just Magic Online things. Been there, done that, opponent. It's really not that big of a loss for them. I would have ghost quartered it anyways. Doesn't really matter. And make it better or worse? I think worse. Titan Horizon KM, thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub there. I appreciate that. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Welcome, welcome. Looking for a tireless tracker. Do, 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 do. Yep, the deck queue is still in a slowed state. The deck queue is going to remain in a slowed state until it gets below 40 decks. So I'd venture to guess it's going to be in a slowed state for probably the end of next week at the earliest. Who am I going to Columbus lit with? Kent Ketter and Chris Van Meter is meeting us there. He's flying though. Yep. When you whiff on a collecting company, you have exactly one person to blame. Yourself. You're the one that chose to register that card. You elected to put that much variance in your deck. Deal with it. They actually don't have any creatures in their Bane because we pathed our Kalitas, which is nice. Bye, friend. Slaughter Pact. Alright. That is a modern legal Magic the Gathering card. I mean, Bloodbraid Elf is another equally high variance card. It's just the floor, instead of being nothing, is a 3-2 haste, which is, like, still pretty bad for 4 mana. Yeah, Slaughter Pact Kalitas is pretty hot. You get to, like, on 4, play it, kill something, make a zombie. Just, like, get some good value going. That's really unfortunate. Can you imagine having a life so pathetic that the only thing you have to do with your time is to wait around 10 minutes and then post something obnoxious in my chat? Have a good life. And I like how someone like that has the audacity to end a comment by calling me the man-child. Do you know what men children do? They go out of their way to, like, make confrontation with other people. Maybe you should just, like, take a long, hard look in the mirror. Play fetch first in case of Rallier. That's an awkward tension. I held the fetch because of Tireless Tracker. I think we're just passing here. I'm gonna play this out. Also, that person probably not. If they're saying those things about me, they probably wouldn't like Caleb. Caleb's a very reasonable human being, which means he probably doesn't align with the type of person that would post something like that. 300% to draw damnation, right? My thoughts on Unmoored Ego, along with my thoughts on a lot of the other cards that have been spoiled, will be up on coolstuffinc.com tomorrow in article form. There is not a Sejiri Step in our deck. Sejiri Step's pretty bad in general in Modern a lot of the time. It's like, it's good in like exactly situations like this, which are few and far between. A lot of the time, if you're like getting to untap with your Knight of the Reliquary, you're like gonna get to do your stuff with it. The instances where like they rip the removal off the top after you have Knight going are like kind of few and far between. Tracker's a great pickup into fetch land here, so this could generate us enough card advantage to like maybe get through this. We've also like only played one Path to Exile here, and I've got 4 of those in my deck right now. So I got 3 paths and 35 cards. I'm gonna have to draw a bunch of stuff. Obviously, I can't attack here because this gets to get up to a 7/7 this turn. If I play Coco, we'll see a path. Ain't that the truth? Or like WWE wrestlers, you could only like one of them. Now there's a lot of us. None of us stream 24 hours a day. Well, they got paid off for a very lucky gamble. They down-ticked Liliana with no creatures in their bin, and they hit one. If we find a path to Exile here, we can get back in this game. If they attack with Skews, I have to chump block with Burning-Tree Emissary. Reynad got banned from playing Magic, I believe for something to do with adding cards to a sealed deck, and then he ended up making a very significant amount of money streaming Hearthstone when it came out. He manages some kind of esports team or owns an esports team or something like that, and then he's working on some kind of game. So this, you should never be sad that a cheater got banned. So Renegade Rallier doesn't do anything because they have a Scavenging Ooze. This makes Tarmogoyf scarier. I don't even know what this collecting company can find at this point. It's basically just like finding me chump blockers. The Scavenging Ooze is just like completely unwieldy. If they use all their green mana here, I think I'm gonna Ghost Quarter myself and cast Collected Company, so I could potentially hit a Renegade Rallier. So yeah, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to float this, and I'm going to Ghost Quarter myself to trigger Revolt. Gosh, I am the smartest and the thinnest. Any order on those? Get back my Herbalists. Show me Path to Exile. All right. I guess everything couldn't go exactly perfect. But this is we have a game of Magic. We have a game of Magic: The Gathering. The Superion keeps the Tarmogoyf in check, and then we've got an Herbalist to chump block the Scavenging Ooze. And the Candy Man here just needs to find us a Path to Exile to put this game away. Am I out of fetchable lands? Gosh, why are there 8 fetches and only six fetchable lands in this deck? That's so awkward. Yeah, I guess you gotta trigger Revolt. $26 cards, 3 Path to Exiles, chat. 26. Oh, the clue had already enabled Revolt. You're super correct. Thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. Obviously, wasn't thinking about that. And they know that this Field of Ruin is just a wasteland at this point, which sucks. And now they're gonna fire off the field because they have a Tireless Tracker to incentivize them to do so. Or not. God bless. I need to draw a path this turn, or I'm not gonna be able to fight through this. That's really unfortunate. Oh, there's 11 fetches in this deck. That is... There are almost 2-to-1 fetches to fetchables. That's... Okay, yep. You should look closer at mana bases. I just assumed a 2-color mana base had to be right. I shouldn't make assumptions. Two Horizon Canopies. Yep, 3 paths and 24 cards. For the love of God. Ugh, you need an Herborg, right? Can you play an Herborg for me, opponent? Do me a solid. Ugh. Yeah, Renegade was an interesting character. we're just not gonna win this game at this point. We had a window for like 3 turns to like draw removal for the Scavenging Ooze, and honestly, our mana base really cost us this game. Not only because we couldn't make more mana, but because we had so few fetchable lands in our deck, we were down clues. Like, I would have drawn more cards that game had we had more fetchable lands. No, they have a Scavenging Ooze in play. I can't rally back anything. That is not an option. My entire hand was just like 3 mana, 2/1s, and 3 2s because my opponent has a Scavenging Ooze in play that I could never get rid of. Yeah, there should probably be like either 8 to 8 on fetchables to non-fetchables, or like 9 to 7. Actually, there's 17. There should be like, yeah, 9 to 8 probably. 9 fetches, 8 fetchables. No, I didn't really have the mana to do that, Jonaso. Neither of those fetch lands made mana, so I only had 3 mana available to me. And like, their Confidant's gonna sit there and draw them cards, and their Tracker's sitting there and drawing them cards. So definitely the mana base coming up and getting us. I mean, yep. Hopefully we draw a Hidden Herbalist into Myr Superion as our first 2 draws. I think you want at least 2 more. I think 9/8 would be ideal. We're over the fetch count to enable Revolt on 3 cards. It's a super knee-jerk deck building choice. It's like, we have 3 cards with Revolt. Do we really want to enable it? I'm going to correct you because you are wrong, because a deck Spirits has literally been top 8 in Grand Prix and winning tournaments with less than 4 Aether Vials in their Collected Company deck. So yeah, do a little research. I guess I should double check. I'm just assuming Strowski played a similar list. I'm gonna go do my homework. Like 30. Look at how quick and easy this is. I'm gonna go to mtg.fish. You don't even have to type in a long URL. Metagame, modern, Bant Spirits, Andre Strowski, 3 Aether Vial. Yep, so it took 15 seconds. 15 seconds. Am I dead yet? Oh, Myr Superion. You were 1 card too late, Myr. You were 1 card too late. I'm so sad, chat. Beartron assembled, right? I think my board's looking a little grisly, chat. He's shy, right? Shouldn't you wait till upkeep to path the goblin? No, that allows them to cast Gifts Ungiven for less mana. Well, I guess that's kind of a wash. Maybe. I don't know. It's like 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. Gosh, could you imagine if we would have attacked for 11 this turn? We would have killed them so quickly. Am I dead yet? They only have 3 cards in their hand here. They need like Ritual Piff. They need like a Gifts Ungiven too at some point, right? They could have main deck empty. I think we're actually set up pretty okay against main deck empty here, right? Like, I've got 3 bears, I'm gonna play a Knight of the Reliquary, and I'm at 16. Okay. They just like cantripping their Past and Flame, just like flashback Morphos, flashback Opt. That doesn't seem terrible, I guess. So like spent one ritual to draw 2 cards. That doesn't seem unreasonable. It could be a value Grape Shot, that's true. They've played a land already for this turn, right, though? So I'm not getting Grape Shotted now. Feels weird to me that they made red-blue there. I guess they were banking on drawing another Manamorphose, but they're, like, far more likely to draw an extra, just an actual cantrip, right? Alright, so they're dead on board. It was nice that Path to Exile had a text box here. Path to Exile does not always have a meaningful text box against Storm. Sometimes you just like Path their thing and they get you anyways. Man, please Echoing Truth me. Then I get to play my Myr Superion. Better Browbeat is probably still bad. And that other card just doesn't do it. It's just bad. Just counting on your opponent to play good cards, just like play good cards yourself instead. What's going on, sale? Yeah, we're doing all right. Doing all right. I'm looking forward to Blue-Black Fairies coming up next. I really like that archetype. It's been really good every time we played it on stream before. It's got, we're trying out a couple copies of Nimble Obstructionist in Blue-Black Fairies today. Alright, so they have 2 rituals in their bin. They have 3 cards in their hand. I don't know what Tajik does. Honorary Fey, Nimble Obstructionist, exactly. Alright, Sir Teaglesworth. So, Knight of the Reliquary, Renegade Rallier. It's kind of slow. Tracker. Feel like I'm cutting 8 in some combination from these 3 at my top end here. What do we think? Like some combination of these go. Maybe Night stays just because she's a big gal. I think I'd like to keep Night because she's got a large booty. Forge-Tender does not stop Great Shot. It can, however, save like one of our creatures from like an Abrade, but I don't think that's super relevant. Let's do it. Tracker. Tracker's a lot of mana to work as a payoff, which makes it kind of slow in this matchup, especially in a deck like this that doesn't have discard spells to slow them down. I mean, this hand has a Path to Exile, and it has 7 power on turn 2. And if we draw a 3rd land, we can play Eidolon on turn 3, so hopefully we get a turn 3. I'd really like to draw another fetch land or a white source here. Alright. It did, Slythe. So I'll be playing that for sure. That's why the SCG Con goal is up. I elected not to attend SCG Con over the summer because I wasn't qualified for the Invitational, and no banless Modern sounded like a miserable format. But I am qualified now, and I'd like to go and play. It's been a little while. Last Invitational I played was last summer, and they've added more prize money to them since then. They're 100K tournaments now. Am I dead yet? Am I dead yet? This deck sounds like a D&D monster. The superior burning cocoa. The burning cocoa, it rains from the sky. It rains from the sky. Vial and Noble Hierarch, it's almost like we're a good modern deck, chat. I don't want to worry anybody, but it's almost like we're a good modern deck. Star City Games has rebranded their invitational weekend to SCG Con. So SCG Con is taking place again from December 7th through the 9th in Roanoke. That is another pretty good beater here. Get to stick the old Eidolon. Eidolon, Bill. Eidolon, Ted. Violin Superion for value. For the put exactly 13 points of power into play. What are we doing? What show? I think we're on this show. What are we doing? Welcome, folks. Everyone's having a good Tuesday wherever you're at. Thanks for hanging out. Got almost 900 people here in chat. My name's Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer, memer, content producer here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30+ hours a week. If you enjoy my stuff, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are a big part of why I'm able to do this full time. I love playing Magic and streaming, but they're the people that keep me here day in and day out, and I wouldn't be here without their support. Past subscribing to my channel, you can also support my stuff by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. Cardsphere.com will have to help you turn some of your cards into other cards directly with other players. There's no haggling. They just take 1% fee off the top. InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mousepads, binders, and bags with them. Cool Stuff Inc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, Warhammer, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. And of course, this stream wouldn't be possible without viewers like Anaronics, Justin, Nivik, and all of y'all out there. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. Remember, if you are enjoying the content, make sure you follow the stream and then check out some of my other avenues as well. You can follow me on Twitter. I also have a YouTube channel where everything gets advertised. And then to chill myself for a second here while we're waiting for this last match to pop, I also have a very wonderful website. If you like modern content, there's a ton of great stuff you can find on here. So this is my deck list page where you can click in here and find deck lists that are kind of sorted by power level, or you can filter by archetype. When you click into these pages, you can find not only my current preferred deck list for the given archetype, but also a playlist here with all the times that we've played this deck on stream in the past. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Exactly, Zach. What's going on? And I tell you to leave a comment down below, but comments are disabled everywhere because, let's be honest, I don't want to read them. On the play for this one, I don't think we can keep like 3 drops that don't do anything. I've just submitted the worst, most meme-worthy deck I've ever built through the forum. Get your big red rejection stamp. I just clicked keep, didn't I? Alright, well, hopefully Path to Exile is good enough. I was talking and reading. Don't multitask, chat. It's not good. Humans aren't built to multitask. Thank you, 120, for the bits. I appreciate that. Alright, suddenly I'm very happy to have not mulliganed. God bless. Mulligan against decks full of discard spells is miserable, miserable. It's always miserable. Never, never mulligan. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Boo-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Dryad Arbor Myr Superion is kind of adorable. I think Mission Briefing could be good in Just Kite Thing. Yeah, possibly Frost Kitty. That's definitely like one of the decks that could be interested in playing that style of effect over something else. The volume was too soft. Pro tip. There is a little speaker icon in one of the corners of your screen. If you click on it, you can make the man in the talkie box louder. I just don't get it. I mean, it's not like if there was like music in my streams too, like you could like complain that I'm too quiet, but like I'm literally the only sound that's here. I'm literally the only audio. I don't know. Y'all must have like really bad, really low speakers. Tracker is very good. Yeah. There are literally people that tell me my audio is too loud, and there are people that tell me my audio is too quiet. And just like at the end of the day, just like I can't change everything all the time. Like whenever I had someone else say that too, and like I went and listened to it on my headphones here, my speakers on my laptop, my cell phone with and without my Bluetooth things, and I have like the volume at like half on all of those and can hear it just fine. Galactic Company is easily the best draw on our deck here because it's a creature that we doesn't get Liliana Edicted. I mean, the audio, like, I appreciate raised audio for YouTube. Like what I'm streaming right now is literally identical to what gets uploaded to YouTube. It's like literally identical. I don't know. If I change something, I learned a long time ago that you can't please everybody. If I change something, there'd be people complaining that it's too loud. I need to turn it down. So now we're going to dish Renegade Rallier if they plus this Liliana here. Oh, look at that. I even get to crack a clue here. God bless. Path to Exile is a good draw. So yeah, I'm gonna path this, and then I think I'm gonna Ghost Quarter, Raging Ravine, and then Renegade Rallier back. Hidden Herbalists here. Good value turn here. I mean, like, there's danger in cranking everything up too, right? Like, the audio is far more likely to break, and distort and crackle when it's on the loud side as opposed to not being on the loud side. Why would I want to rally back Ghost Quarter? Yeah, I'm doing it after combat so they can't kill my things. I don't want to get, like, bolted or pushed. For the record, I pushed the gain up on my microphone this morning for people that are asking about it. But again, I checked it on every device in my household, which there's a dozen devices in my household, and I previously didn't have any issues on them. The second path to exile here is just A+. Assuming we don't get discarded. Even if we do get discarded, we're kind of in an okay spot. Although I guess I don't have another path to exile in my deck right now. I only have one more. If I get to clean this Tarmogoyf out, we should be pretty firmly ahead here. Yeah, it could be a K command. I don't know. I'm at 11, so I just really don't want to take a hit here. If they have K command, it's probably going to be lights out though, because I really can't beat like pick Bloodbraid back up. Just terminate. That's great for me. It was much better than Culligan's command for me. There's another path to exile on top, anyways. God bless. They do not have a basic mountain. Greedy Jund player. Yeah, I think I prefer the straight. I think I prefer the straight mono green bussy. I like having more basics in the decks right now. Basic lands are great. Zintoth, I'm gonna do Warhammer consistently on Wednesday night after the kids go to bed. It's like 8:15, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on Wednesdays. Do like an hour and a half or 2 hours or so then. Maybe Herbalist is better than. Yeah, I'm gonna leave these Herbalists in and cut the Lotus Cobras, I think. Just to have more ways to put Superion out. I think the creature toolbox decks in general in Modern tend to not be interactive enough. I'd assume Bogles wants 4 Horizon Canopies, Captain Obvious. I think Remorseful Cleric's just like not good enough against Jund. Like, people often boarding cards like Remorseful Cleric against Tarmogoyf decks, and I just don't understand why. Like, it's not making the Tarmogoyf 0, so like just like boarding in this low power creature to like make Tarmogoyf marginally worse seems really bad. Also, like, the way this deck is constructed, we've got a lot of artifacts and stuff like that in our deck, so like our graveyard's gonna have a lot of power for Tarmogoyf 2 most games. We've cleverly left our Myr Superion on top of our deck here. They took the Burning-Tree Emissary. That's interesting. They must just have, like, plenty of Doomblades, right? It's a good pickup. A little bit of grind. See, I actually think Relic is fine to bring in against Tarmogoyf decks because Relic has the ever-important line of text draw card stapled to it. And, like, the floor on a card, or, like, how bad a card can be, is much higher if it replaces itself. Relic, like, also hoses both graveyards, so it, like, makes Goyf an 0-1. So it's just, like, much more flexible for what you're looking for it to do. It's very different than, like, a Tormod's Crypt or Remorseful Spirit style effect. Yeah, I actually agree with that too, Turkin. I think boarding in Remorseful Cleric as graveyard hate is silly. Yeah, maybe I should have just played Noble Hierarch here too. Fetched out a basic. Yeah, I probably should have boarded in Noble Hierarch. So long, Ewit. What's going on, Nicholas? The ratios of the lands in this deck are really bad. That's the one piece of feedback I have so far. The actual idea of what the spells are doing is like kind of cohesive, but the fetch land to fetchable ratio is really terrible. There should 100% be probably at least 2 more fetchable lands in the deck. In my experience, you often want them to be about 1-to-1, and this deck has almost a 2-to-1 ratio, which is not good. Like the 6 revolt cards that we have. My thoughts on Ego, along with lots of other cards that have been spoiled, will be going up on Cool Stuff Inc. tomorrow. Yeah, I always give feedback on people's deck lists that post them in the subs Discord. It's the best way to get my attention. So people that are subbed or $5 or more Patreons can post things in there. I have a bunch of different chat rooms for different formats of things. Generally speaking, don't expect good feedback for Legacy or Standard not from me, though. At least not Standard yet. Standard at some point, hopefully. Why do we really care about Assassin's Trophy, Orcish Veteran? Like, the decks that are playing Assassin's Trophy were, like, already playing cards like Abrupt Decay and stuff like that. So, like, they're not going to have that many more ways to interact with your card. Like, the matches that had Assassin's Trophy, they didn't want to discard their last card, huh? The matches that have Assassin's Trophy in them, like, were already bad matchups for you because of things like Abrupt Decay. I'm going to play this Forest. So I was holding the Forest for Tireless Tracker, but since there's a Liliana now, I'm going to go ahead and play it out. Yep, yeah, I'm going to SCG Columbus. I'll be teaming with Kent Ketter and Chris Van Meter. Hollowed One. Black-Green was already pretty good against Hollowed One, and it got a lot better with Assassin's Trophy for sure. Occasionally their Delve threats and Hollowed Ones could run away with the game if you drew too many Fatal Pushes, but now we just got like 4 Doomblades. Need a company here. Alright. She's kind of a big gal. Liliana's at 1 here. That's just good, clean deck building right there. Just good, clean deck building. What? Sure? Okay. That is super aggressive. We are super excited for that attack, especially since we drew a creature here. Frostkitty, you should take a peek at my article in the article previews channel on the Discord. It'll be up on Cool Stuff Inc. tomorrow as well. I don't think it's that much different, Hikaku. Like, take my green black list, for example. Before I had 2 Decays and 2 Pulses in the main, now I have 4 Assassin's Trophy. Like, it's literally the same number. Yeah, I'm gonna take a turn to charge up the Knights here. Make my gals big. Yeah, we were already kind of ahead here because of that attack they made. Oh no! Oh no! They've played 3 lightning bolts. Don't do it to me. Don't do me dirty. Don't do it. Don't you dare. Good. God bless. God bless us, everyone. Assassin's Trophy is probably a reason to fit a second basic into JAC, if anything. Like, I already kind of felt like I wanted a second basic in some situations. I think that this attack is really bad. Because my knights can become 6/6s. I don't know what this attack is doing. Yeah, maybe they just assumed I was going to Ghost Quarter, but like definitely not Ghost Quartering, right? At least it doesn't matter that this card was rancid this time. At least it doesn't matter that this card is bad. Yeah, they have 0 cards in hand. Well, I'll be. Attack for lethal, eat your Finks before it persists. So I didn't get a fetch land there because I didn't want to die to Culligan's command. Because I'm at 3, I don't want to give them another burn spell that can kill me. Yeah, that's true. I actually agree with that. The Hearthstone variant of Collected Company has less variance than Collected Company. Alright, so they need like exactly Damnation, and I have 2 follow-up creatures if that's their hit. Oh, Erdia got me. Beat me to the race. Alright, 2 and 1. Onward, upward, backward, forward. Yeah, blue-black fairies, and then potentially Jeskai. I don't know if we're gonna have time to get to Jeskai today. Maybe I should pick a deck that's gonna win faster than that for the last one. Got Bogles. Bogles is towards the top of the queue. Oh yeah, that's the one we were just talking about. Maybe. And again, like when I'm picking things, I'm not picking just random decks, chat. I'm opening the deck queue and picking decks towards the top. Seems pretty good. Yeah, I think that's a good assessment of like where my opponent went wrong in that last match. Game 3 especially, like they assumed this really aggressive role and then the game just kind of like slid away from them slowly. Well, I'll be. You're Maeve, Yugi boy. This is all I got. Hopefully there's some kind of bad control deck that can never beat a 5/6. Merfolk. Probably also going to have a hard time with this 5/6. Oh, is Bogles on the no-fly list? Bogles is fun to play. Bogles is like Tron in that I'd never played at a tournament, but it's fun to just like derp into people with on occasion. It's been a while since we've swam with the fishes. No, this is fish is bad spirits. Get it right. Spirits is bad humans. Gotta keep everything straight, Jack. Come on now. Oh no, that's so rude. That's so rude, my poor Superion. How is he supposed to lord over you? Why would I not play Bogles or Tron in a tournament? Because those are decks that don't stimulate my mental lobe. They're decks that generally beat people because your deck lines up well against them and you don't really make meaningful decisions against in a lot of your matches of Magic. Like, your meaningful decisions while playing decks like that tend to all be wrapped up into your mulliganing choices and how you sideboard. Am I supposed to Coco now? Why am I supposed to Coco now? Oh, because I can hit a thing to cast the Superion. Yeah, that makes sense. We have things that make mana. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with those games, and there's nothing wrong with enjoying those style of games. Those are just like, that's why I don't mind playing decks like Bogles and Tron on stream, because I agree, they're fun decks to kick around on occasion for 5 matches. They're just not the kind of deck that I would want to play for an entire weekend at a tournament with the type of Magic that they play. I have 1 Path to Exile to bring in, and I have a Tireless Tracker to cut. Alright. I'm glad we won game 1 here, because I would not be surprised this matchup bad for us on average. Poorly built mill decks are bad burn. Mill decks that are a control deck with a mill win condition are very reasonable. You can find my preferred mill list that's a control deck with a mill win condition on my website, jeffhoagland.com. Which, it was really bad, Quarth. It's probably not worth watching. For being upfront, it's probably not worth watching. So I'm going to go ahead and ramp with Rallier here because I would like to be able to collect a company next turn through this Curse Catcher. Especially since I drew another one. Yeah, Night of Autumn's going to be sweet in decks like this. Jeff Hoagland isn't a terribly popular name, believe it or not. The other Jeff Hoagland said, there's a Jeff Hoagland who is actually an Olympic cyclist. So he exists. And then there is a couple of Jeff Hoaglands that are researchers in the Netherlands somewhere. All right, so now I'm going to go Tireless Tracker, Windswept Heath, Fetch, get Forest, so get a couple of clues. Then we get to go BTE into Myr Superion. It is technically optimal to do everything I'm doing right now post-combat, but the people that are thinking that, you don't understand the value of pressing my auto pass hotkey. Oh, geez, the clone deck with Night of Autumn sounds great. That sounds like a lot of fun, actually. They have a Master of Waves here. We could be in trouble. Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate. I guess I have a couple copies of Path to Exile in my deck still. I'm going to cast this Burning-Tree Emissary, and I'm going to cast this Collected Company now, I think. They want to trade both Curse Catchers for the Collected Company. I'm okay with that. They have a second Master of Waves. We're probably dead to rates. Don't really want to trade my Grizzly Bears for Elementals. Just Mirror Retreat, sure. That one doesn't even give Island Walk, which is nice. Come on. God, it's a 2-body advantage, just in a different way. Yep, basically. All right, so we get 2 shots at... Get 2 shots at Path to Exile here. Oh, you know what? I bet they're gonna tap this Noble Hierarch with this, so I'm off white mana for the turn. Get wrecked. They misread the prompt because I floated. Yeah, they just clicked yes because this can untap things too. So that works out well for us. All right, well, none of those were Path to Exiles, so we've got that going for us. All right, no Island Walk Lord, sign me up. Man, they got a whole lot of nothing going on. So... Oh, you know what? I just put a bunch of bad cards in the bottom of my deck. I definitely should have waited to crack that fetch land. That was a little loose. Pretty decent. Pretty decent. We're gonna need to start trading our creatures in here. Although I guess I can't attack with things that are less than 3 power, huh? Yeah, we're gonna start pressuring with these Myr Superions. They want to like get their block on. I'm okay with that. The Lurgoyf, halfway towards a league of everybody's favorite Stormbelcher variant. Sounds good. I think Monday's gonna be Vintage Legacy Day. Monday's gonna be Vintage Legacy Day. We got really lucky that they flooded out. I was not expecting to win that game without drawing a Path to Exile. They drew a lot of lands though on the top. Well, the top of our deck did not have Path to Exile. The top of our deck had a lot of gas in it. The core of this deck is actually kind of fun. Get the Superion allows you for some really aggressive draws. I think my only comments so far are the Remorseful Clerics on the sideboard I think are kind of silly. I'd rather just have like Rest in Peace in that slot. And the ratio of fetches to non-fetches is a little bit off. But we're guaranteed to at least be a real modern deck. This hand is very reasonable. Honestly, I might want like one more land in the deck too. I think there's only 21 lands, and I think I'd like closer to 22 or so. Now I'm saying we could 4-1. That's what I'm saying. Pendelhaven, Ancient Stirrings. This is Grobots. Do I have Stonies in my board? 0 Stonies. I have Katakis. Got a Sage and a Qasali Pridemage too. We're gonna have a good curve here. We're gonna have path your turn 1 play into turn 2 7 power. It's a lot of zeros, opponent. Yep. Yep. Thanks for the feedback. I don't know if you saw my last message, but I haven't ever built a deck like this, and I looked at Zoo mana bases. Yeah, the big difference between Zoo mana bases is we have Tireless Tracker in this deck, and we're looking to go a little bit longer. So the match we actually lost because we ran out of fetchable mana sources and got like Field of Ruined a couple times, and we were cut short on cards we were able to draw with Tireless Tracker because we just like had a bunch of fetches that couldn't get lands. So next turn we'll go fetch Basic Forest, Herbalist Superion. And then we're going to get to curve into Knight of the Reliquary, Collect a Company guaranteed. Because remember, in a pinch, your Knight of the Reliquary can basically ramp you. I actually much prefer playing against this deck that the opponent's playing than normal Affinity. I think this deck that the opponent's playing is much easier to interact with for the interactive decks in the format. Yeah, I think Vana Shaman's definitely too cute. Vana Shaman is just like a really slow and clunky card. It like has to untap, and then like even once you untap, you have to invest more mana into it. Just like leaves a lot to be desired. Yeah, remember when Affinity ran cards that had the tech keyword Affinity on them? Weird. Weird. I got it's an X spell of some sort. Walking Ball. That can be lethal pretty quickly. I think I'm gonna fetch a basic here just because I want my knight to be as big as possible this turn. Nah, I think Vana Shaman's much worse than just like more cards like Court of Calling and Collect a Company and other little tutors like that. Do I smash with this? If I smash with this, it's probably bad for me. Zeromancer, there's a deck list on your screen. If you're on mobile, you can type !deck in chat to get a link to a deck list. I'd encourage you to look at the deck list before asking a question like that. Evolutionary Leap is very good. Matt Nass's configuration of the Scales deck had 2 Evolutionary Leaps in it, and it felt very powerful. We played it on stream before. Feels pretty good. So if we don't get too close to dead here, next turn we'll have Ghost Quarter plus Knight for a second Ghost Quarter, and then we should hopefully not be dead to the Blink Moth. Just gonna pass the turn here. Yep. Horizon Canopy. Get you that redraw, opponent. Get you that redraw. Why is there a Kamiya False open the sideboard? Defog. What's going on, Stanley? Afternoon. Let's just shoot that one. Yep. Huh. That's kind of cute, Hive Mind. It makes you need white mana though, which is like a pretty big ask, I think. Like that deck's already only playing like 17 lands, so like leaves a little bit to be desired as far as like casting your spells go. Collected company, gotta love the companies. Why do we play companies? Do 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 do. Bad company. Pathless Walking Ballista. Millbot, thank you very much for the brand new Twitch Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month. I just need to force this out of here. And then we'll go Herbalist into Lotus Cobra here. So, this is a 4/4. It can become a 5/5, 6, 7, 8. It can become an 8/8. I'm going to attack with my Knight of the Reliquary here. Because I can Ghost Quarter myself if they block. Thanks for the endless entertainment while my baby won't sleep at 3 in the morning. Appreciate Hoaglandia. Thank you, Draven, for the 9-month resub there. I appreciate that. Don't worry, they start to sleep eventually. I promise. It does get better. It can't be a 9/10 because the Pendelhaven requires it to be a 1/1 to make it bigger. Nah, I think that's being too all in. I like the fact that we just got like this honest game plan going on here. So concession lockup. What are we doing? All right. I also you also like our companies have already been bad. Every card you put in your company deck that like isn't a company hit makes your companies just worse and worse and worse. All right, chat, you ready to draw some cards? That's another spot where just like I really wish we had had more basics in our deck, more lands to fetch for. It's like we run out of things tonight through like this very quickly. But I guess they're also going to be dead pretty quickly here. It's like it's not really a big deal. Oh, Witness. Yeah, Witness is like really good with collecting company. There actually weren't any collected company, or there weren't any witnesses in this deck when we started the sporting, and I was like, nah, I'm putting a couple witnesses in here. Oh, speaking of up late, I was up late last night, and then Declan was up early. One more fetchable land here. The Hardened Scales Affinity deck has felt very, very good when we've played it. I do think that this deck wants at least one more land in it, and adding a utility land is probably pretty reasonable. Would not hate the addition of a Gavany Township or something along those lines. Was that a good draw, chat? What do we think? Where's that one rank? Good enough. Kataki's a lot worse than Stony Silence in this matchup too, just because they have so many walking ballistas. It can be hard to make it stick and do its thing. I think this is pretty easy tracker out matchup. Like that game kind of showed like we really just don't have the mana to like do stuff with tracker consistently. But from the Lotus Cobras too, actually. They just get gobbled up by walking ballista as well. Uber Myr, do they drive you around? They do. They do, in fact. Ew. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, mm. Can I get some Stoneforge Mystics in chat? In honor of what's about to occur, can we get some Stoneforge Mystics in chat? God bless us, everyone. Bye, friend. Yeah, even if they have something like Welding Jar here, like think Both Nexus gets removed from combat when you go Squirter it. Sure. So alright, if I submit Revolt Zoo. Yeah, Revolt Zoo is sweet. I've actually played that on stream before. We played it during the 24-hour stream. Deck was really sweet. Yeah, but they just reactivate it. Oh, I could DQ it in response to a jar. Yeah, that's true. Like they put the jar on the stack. No, no, no. No, no, no. So they have to chump block here, and they go to 3. Look, chat, this is turn 4, and they're not even dead yet. My deck is completely reasonable and fair. Nothing wrong here. They got 5 whole turns, chat. They got 5 whole turns. Are we done yet? Sweet. Love it. So, comments on the deck. The core idea here is kind of sweet and a lot of fun. I think the Aether Vials are kind of silly. I think I'd rather just, like, have some more mana creatures, maybe. I talked a few times about cleaning up the mana and the ratios here. I think I'd get rid of these. What would I do? I'd probably do... Probably get at least one basic forest in here. One more basic forest in here. Yeah, probably like 2. Probably go up to that. Probably another temple garden. And then a Gavany Township, I think. As a 22nd land. And then probably bring this last Path to Exile in the main deck. And honestly, I kind of just want the last Hidden Herbalists. Just like Max. The Lotus Cobras were like kind of cute, but I guess I also went down on Ways to Trigger Revolt on them end too. Oh, get a Dryad Arbor. Yeah, we talked about that actually. Because it's a fetchable land that lets you make mana for Hidden Herbalists. That's funny. Yeah, definitely want a Dryad Arbor, I think. And then as far as the sideboard goes, did we play a 14-card sideboard in that league? Now I'm gonna have to go back and check. I don't think we did. Maybe we did. As far as the sideboard goes... Oh, I just moved the path over. There we go. Thank you. As far as the sideboard goes, I think I would turn these cards into the more powerful cards in the matchups that just don't get hit by Collected Company. I would turn the Remorseful Clerics into Rest in Peace, and I would turn the Katakis into Stony Silences. But the core of the deck is sweet. If you're looking for a neat take on Collected Company that can, like, have some aggressive draws while still grinding a little bit, I think this is pretty reasonable. There's probably also merit to just, like, turning these Ralliers into more Eternal Witnesses, because, like, Witness Collected Company is just, like, busto. Alright, what are we doing next? Blue, black, fairies. I've got approximately 3 hours. Shannon, making the decision of what we're doing next, DZ. Can you play blue-white control with the updates we talked about, please?